Hi there, welcome back to Wolfie's Den. Continuing my series of my collection of Blu-rays. Today we're going to go through E. I was going to mix E and F together, but I found, as you can see, I have a few more E's than I thought I had. So without further ado, we move swiftly on. And starting first of all, we have a Viggo Mortensen film directed by David Cronenberg, which I didn't know he did this one, and this is Eastern Promises. It's like a British gangster type film that involves the Russian mafia. Quite violent in places. Not a bad film. Next we have Earth to Echo. An lenticular, don't know if you can really see that, a lenticular type cover. I think this is a bit of an ET type clone film, something along those lines. So that's Earth to Echo. Next we have Eden Lake. Quite a violent horror film. Eden Lake. Mel Gibson and Ray Winston in Edge of Darkness. This one's got a nice slip cover on it. Live, Die, Repeat. Edge of Tomorrow, Cruise, Tom Cruise, Emily Blunt. Sci-fi adventure. Ooh, this one's a bit thin. Very thin. This is the Elephant Man Studio Canal collection. It's like a very small media book. The Elephant Man. Filmed by David Lynch with John Hurt. Won a few Oscars, I believe. So that's a little media book of Elephant Man. Next we have Elfie Hopkins. Oh, don't know much about this one. Elfie Hopkins. Got Ray Winston in it somewhere along the line. Don't know much about that one. Next up we have an 88 films, Eliminators. Nice slip cover on this one. This is one of those 80s dystopian sort of disaster, apocalyptic, whatever words I can think of that fit this. Eliminators. Then we have an Arrow Video, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Followed by Emmanuel and the Last Cannibals. There's a title you couldn't make up. This is the Italian horror collection, or just the Italian collection. Ooh. Next we have, there's a German title on this. I think this is Joan Collins in Empire of the Ants. Even though it's written in German, I do vaguely remember it, the title. It's Joan Collins in Empire of the Ants, uncut. And another one with a nice slip cover. Harrison Ford in Ender's Game. Nothing to do with EastEnders, just in case you wondered. Another sci-fi. Ben Kingsley as well. Yeah, it looks like Ben Kingsley is in this as well. Oh, nearly lost that. I wouldn't have thought Ben Kingsley would have been in a sci-fi, but it would have changed from Gandhi. Classic horror from the 80s. This was quite scary. I remember this being very scary when I first watched it. It's The Entity with Barbara Hershey. Supposedly based on a true story. Next we have The Equalizer, Denzel Washington. Followed swiftly by Equalizer 2 and Equalizer 3. That Equalizer 3? No, actually I tell a lie, it is Equalizer 2, and this is Equalizer 2 as well apparently. A bit of a mistake, and a nice steelbook. Good action films those, good action films. And here's the one I should have said. This one's Equalizer 3. It's the latest one. Next up, Eraser. And this is the Region A version, the American version. It's uncut. The British Blu Rays cut. Quite a few minutes taken out of it. Much longer edition, this one. One of Arnie's better films. Eraser. Next up, Julia Roberts in one of her best films, Erin Brockovich. I do have this in 4K as well. This is John Carpenter's Kurt Russell, Mr. Snake Plissken in Escape from New York. Classic Carpenter film, one of his best. Rewatched this several times. I think this one is actually a 4K restoration, but I do have the 4K of it as well. Great film. Next up we have Stallone and Schwarzenegger in Escape Plan. I believe there's about 2 or 3 more of these, but I wouldn't bother with them. I'd just stick with this one. This isn't brilliant, but it's a bit of a laugh. The 2 80s heroes paired together in a prison breakout. That's got a bit of a I don't know, lenticular cover on it. You can't quite see, but that's Escape Plan. Then we have Escape Room. A special collector's edition of Event Horizon. I think I got this a couple of times as well. I think I've got a Blu-ray media book of it and the 4K edition of it. It's a pity you're never going to get to see the full uncut version of this. I think it's lost in the cutting room floor. This is Ridley Scott. Nope, sorry, stand corrected. Paul Anderson directed. Great sci-fi horror. There we go, and we have it again. Event Horizon, which is the American collector's slipcover edition. Oh God, is it Shout Factory? Yeah, Scream Factory. God, my hands are slippery this morning. So I do have several dips on this film. Then we have Salma Hayek in Everly. Oh, one pile gone. Next up we have The Evil. And of course Sam Raimi's Evil Dead. Another film that I probably have in several formats, as most people have, I think. Don't really need to say much about that one. Then we have the remake of The Evil Dead, which some people think it is actually better than the first. Debatable. Good film. These slip covers are definitely be slippery today. Next up, Arrow Films Evil Ed. Then we have one that was in the Video Nasty list, Evil Speak. I can't remember why it was in the Video Nasty list, but I don't remember anything too horrendous in it. I'll have to give it a rewatch to find out. Then we've got The Evil Within. We've got a theme of evil films today. Oh, there we've got an HMV Premiere collection with some art cards in and everything. This is Excalibur. Really enjoyed this film. Excalibur. Who directed this now? John Borman film. Yeah, great film. Excalibur. Steelbook here of 3-disc collector's set Bulletproof edition. Of the Sylvester Stallone and various others in the Expendables. Then of course we have Expendables 2 and Expendables 3. I haven't bothered with Expendables 4 at the moment. I have watched it, but didn't really think it was that great. But as I do like to be a bit of a completist, so to speak, I might have to get it in the end. Wait for it to come on to CEX, pick it up there. Next up we have, from the director of Gladiator, Exodus, Gods and Kings. A biblical type film. Biblical epic. Oh, then we have, let's have a quick look here. Oh, yeah. We have The Exorcist, of course. Nothing I need to say about this. Another one that's been double dipped, treble dipped, whatever. You'll have to wait to see when I get around to my 4K collection. Then we have the recent prequel, I believe, Exorcist Believer. This is also out on 4K. I didn't like the film that much. I thought I'd just watch it on Blu Ray. Quality is just as good. Exorcist Believer. Then we have probably the best sequel or prequel is William Peter Blatty's Exorcist 3, George C. Scott. I do have Exorcist 2 with Richard Burton, The Heretic, somewhere, but not on Blu-ray. This is a better film. Ooh, yeah. Now we have an Arrow window edition of The Exterminator. Vigilante Vietnam type film. Followed swiftly by Exterminator 2, which wasn't as good. But still, a bit of fun. Next up we have Extraterrestrial. God, yeah. I'm talking of Extraterrestrials. If you wonder where ET is, I don't actually have it on Blu-ray, but I do have it on 4K. Next up is Nick Nolte and Powers Boothe, Extreme Prejudiced. Another one in a nice slip cover. Another very good action backpack film. Water Hill film, brilliant. Couple left. Another one of the Italian collection, horror, 88 films, Eyeball. And Helen Mirren in Eye in the Sky. Right, if you just bear with me a minute, I might have a couple of boutique box sets in E. I just got to double check. Back. Right, after all that, there was only one. And it was what I was on about. It's The Exorcist, not 4K, but I have got it at Blu-ray. It's a media book. There you go. Thing with William Friedkin, little note. And oh, this is some nice little booklet in there. Get you around to see this. There we go. Exorcist. Can't show all the pages, but you get an idea. So that's the extended director's cut and the original. So that's Exorcist media book. Right, so that's the end of the E's. I think what I might do soon is instead of carrying on with this, which I will be obviously, which with F, etc., G, H, blah blah blah. I do also have a collection of 3D Blu-rays, so I might add that into the mix separately. And also I have quite a few not 3D, music Blu-rays, mainly concerts, etc., heavy rock, heavy metal, genre, majority of them. So about 40 or 50 of them. So I might do a separate video for them as well. So keep an eye out for those two. Please subscribe if you want to. Press the notification button, etc., etc. You know the rules. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again very soon. Probably F, and then we'll move on to some different stuff. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye.